What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode right here on Chatroom with Claire. I am your host, Claire Chelule, and as you can see today, we are at Global Study, and it's located at City Plaza. So kuna hii scandal imekuwa go on in Eldoret, you know. Yeah, there's too much drama concerning history ya kwenda majuu, and we want to unearth and uncover what is really happening kwa ground. You understand? How will you identify a scam from a real one? Okay, let's find out together. Come with me. So guys, I'm sure most of you have seen the scandal going on online, not even scandal, it's scandals going on online in regards to this story ya kwenda majuu kusoma. So I've seen parents and students who are complaining of being scammed of their money. Wanaambiwa your children will go abroad kusoma, and then it turns out they get visa refusals, or I don't know what really happens in between. And today we are going to find out more on that. And we are at Global Quest, of course. We are going to find out more about them. Before now, we unearth and uncover what goes on behind the curtains for those scammers, okay? So before we continue, I'll let the gentleman beside me to introduce himself, and then he can tell us what he does here. How are you?
I'm good.
You're welcome to our show.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
yes.
So I'll just let you introduce yourself to the viewers and you tell them what you do.
Okay, my name is Nehemiah Dexter Brono. I am the director and owner of this agency. This is an agency which is takes students abroad, and I also have an institution where learners can get training on the English proficiency exams. Yeah, so those are some of the services which I help students in. And in regards to the applications, I offer support whenever students need. And of course, this is a very legitimate business. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, so you're the founder of this place?
Yes.
How long has it been going?
Under the name Global, it has been going now for a year. It's exactly 1 year since I started the company. But for over 7 years, I've been an English tutor. Yeah, taking through IELTS, TOEFL, PT, SAT, Duolingo. Yeah, so that was what I started with. But as time went by, of course, I wanted to grow bigger, and I went to the school application business, of which for the young people, I believe it is a very good thing, at least a journey into self-employment, considering in our country we have limited jobs. Yeah.
What inspired you to start this institution?
Well, what inspired me most was independence. Of course, I wanted to be independent in running my own things, because when you work for somebody, of course, there are some conditions, of course, you have to meet, and those are some of the things I faced. Some challenges, of course, all through. But being now the founder of this, it was just a passion. I'm a very passionate person, especially when it comes to connecting with people. I give them the true picture of what is happening, and through that I felt that people really needed to know more, and I'm not somebody who's going to hold back anything. That is why I decided to now get into this.
Okay, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
So maybe take us through the process from when you start receiving documentation to the last process where the student gets maybe the visa.
Well, the first thing, of course, we have to make sure that you have the required documents, depending on the level of study that you are applying for, of which now those are academic documents, of course, and if you have a gap, of course, and maybe you've been working, you'll need a work recommendation letter. So those are some of the things which we consider, and then now after we've assessed your documents, we can know which placement is suitable for you. So because of that placement, now we can determine if you are the level of education you are going to seek, and also which country you would prefer to go and study. Yeah. So first we receive the documents. We make sure that the documents are authentic. They have to be authentic, and to avoid having some fake documents going through to the embassy. So of course we have to cut on that. So we ensure, and as agents we have to be transparent in that process. Now, after we've received the documents, now we can proceed to the application process, where now after which you can get an offer letter. So the offer letter, the first offer letter that you get is conditional. So it has some conditions which you have to first meet, which include English proficiency exams and any other additional documentation they need. Thereafter, now you can sign. Now you accept the offer. You sign it back. We send it. After we sent it back to them, that is when now you can receive unconditional offer letter, considering if the school feels that you fulfilled everything, most of their conditions. So after receiving that, you can now proceed to paying your school fees, which upon you'll get a confirmation of enrollment, which we call COE. After you've paid your school fees and overseas health cover, now you get a COE, we can now lodge the visa. The visa lodgement, of course, will need additional documentation, or some of the documents which are needed, of course, be it bank statements and stuff. So that is when we can submit to them. Yeah.
And I know the process of waiting, people can be so impatient at times. Like what's approximately the duration from when you start documentation to the last bit? Like what's the duration approximately like?
Okay, the fastest process can take up about 3 months.
Yeah.
I think 3 months is the lowest, maybe is the lowest you can, as the fastest you can process your process.
Yeah.
Now it depends, because for some, it can go up to around the most, I think around 5 months, because we also have to look at the intakes that we are applying for. And on our end, if we have a smooth transition, then it will be very fast. Given that we request some documents and the clients provide, then that one will be very swift. But now if you have some hesitations on the client's end, of course, then that will drag the entire application. Yeah, but that can go up to maybe 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
At most, right?
Yeah, at most.
Yeah. And I know you have some students, you encounter some students who have maybe gaps.
Yeah.
Mtu maybe alimaliza from 4 kitambo and now they want to come and apply the process. Like
Yeah.
how do you fill in those gaps for them?
Well, students are, all students are unique. We are all unique. For some, they can complete their studies and join universities. For some, they are not so lucky. Maybe for a few years, they won't be so lucky. But they'll engage themselves in job opportunities, because when you get a chance to be employed here, considering we have limited spaces, you won't pass that opportunity. So of course, first they'll have to seek maybe some employment opportunities, and then now, if they have those, now they can prove that since I completed high school, now this is what I did. Then that makes sense. We also consider the age. Okay, so age is also a factor, because for most countries they have age limits for particular programs. So it depends with which kind of program there is. So recommendation will do for those who have gaps. Yeah.
Alafu there's this story ya bank statement. I hope hapa tutachoma. So bank statement, what amount is required, and is it necessary for someone to get it from a very close family member? Na kama mtu anataka kuenda and they don't have that from a very close family member, what do they do?
Well, now there are some new rules that have been imposed regarding bank statements, of which right now is becoming an issue. Like most people used to apply using people from the extended family, the documentation from the extended family. But currently they cannot, because there have been some questions. They've been questioning the entire process. They feel that maybe there are some bank statements which are not which you cannot prove your relationship with this person. So of course you'll need somebody you are related to, so that you can refer this person as a sponsor. Yeah. Now, in terms of the amount of money that one needs in order to do the entire process, of course it has to cover. It depends with the countries, but the entire process needs the whole amount needs to be in a position to cover the entire full year fee. It has to cover your living expenses. It has to cover your travel arrangements, of course, including the medical cover. Yeah. So those are some of the things, and any other additional support that you'll need there regarding money. Because as a student, as a genuine student, of course, you are going to study. You're going to study, not work. You're going to study. So of course, they'll have to first take measures in which now students can be saved from maybe having some financial issues when they are in a foreign country. Yeah.
So, and with the bank statement, when someone brings in a bank statement, do you guys do you have a team that goes through the bank statement to make sure that the funds are valid?
Yeah.
Or you just push them to the immigration? No.
Now, the first thing we do is, of course, we have to verify the bank statements. I myself, normally, I love that. I take the copy to the bank, of which now I can make consultation. If it's a bank that is not maybe stationed around Eldoret, I'll make sure I email the school now to verify, the bank to verify the money. Is this bank statement really genuine? If now the bank statement is genuine, then it means we can proceed. That way we are cutting on we are cutting on rejections. We are trying to save the students, because for some they don't understand what it means to get a rejection. For you to get a rejection, it means next time you are applying for a visa, of course you will be subjected to scrutiny, high scrutiny compared to a first-time applicant. Yeah, so to save them from that, of course, we make sure that we first verify the statements. Yeah.
And when a student gets maybe a visa refusal, do you guys refund the money? Is the school fees refunded, or how does it work?
Yeah, of course. That is the good thing about student applications is that the money is refundable. The money is refundable because now you've paid the school the money, of which now that is the money that we cannot get in contact with. No, we just help you maybe in filling out some of the details, but now you'll pay directly from the bank to the institution. But now when you get a refusal, of course, there is a refund form. Yeah, so we fill out the refund form, and then now the money can be returned back to the paying account. Yeah, so that is all that is needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you guys recorded any visa refusal so far?
No. Actually, I'm among very lucky people, I can say. I don't have any refusals at all.
Okay, that's impressive. Yeah. So approximately how many students have you shipped already?
In the past year now I've done taken students, 27 students.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. And yeah, so what should people really look out? Because we have had this issue of people getting scammed with this industry. So what should they look out for in order to differentiate a scam from a legit company?
Yeah. Now, of course, it's very easy to differentiate that, because now for us as agents, especially I'll speak on behalf of the students, of course, student agents. Now we have, of course, a fee that is that makes us pay our bills. Of course, we have bills that are pending, and for us to get that, we need, of course, to first sort out some bills. We have to make sure we have internet, we have electricity, we have materials, we have printers.
True.
Yeah. So all things, of course, need money. But for you, we always have it in 2 installments. For example, my company, I have an agency fee of 30,000, of which you can pay in 2 installments. The first one, I'll make an application with you, and then now I'll help you through the process. When it comes to now the visa application process, that is when you can pay the remaining amount of money. So meaning we will be working when you see the fruits of course, your money. Yeah, your money is being accounted for. So that is when now we will be done with the students. So any other amount of money that is needed from an agent, of course, that is different from maybe the agency fee. Of course, that is a scam. I'd say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what countries do you deal with?
I deal with Australia. I have Canada. I have USA. I have Ireland. I have China. I have Korea. I also have UK. Yeah.
Are they all student visas? Ama you have some?
Yeah, these are just student visas. Yeah, I just have student visas.
Okay.
Because that is, I'm in contact with students, of course, and for me that is the line that I chose. I never wanted to go into maybe jobs because you cannot promise a job. Yeah.
Okay, and then there's this other issue. You know, when you're here, you think that abroad is a land of milk and honey. People don't understand that you also have to struggle when you're there. So how do you prepare your students before they leave here?
That is a very good question, actually, that students need to be prepped for. Yeah. First, most people feel that going abroad is heaven. But no, of course, it's not heaven. Yeah, there you're far away from home. And being far away from home, it means that you are on your own. And it's something that is, of course, very tough. You are in a different setting from your own. The people there are very different. The law is very different. And so many things are very different. Of course, for you now as a student, we have to tell you what is really happening there. Yeah. So meaning that if you have to go maybe work or study, then it means that every single minute of your time will count there. You'll have to be very productive. Here you can be productive at least somewhere. Maybe you have a place to stay because maybe you are around home. So at least that is better, or maybe you are used to the environment. But now there, it's a very different world. We have the issue of time zones. We have different climatic conditions, of course, which can be harsh or extreme. Yeah. So of course we have to tell the students, like, you are not going heaven, you just know that you are going to study. So make that your primary focus. But make sure you come back home, you have your loved ones here, and of course it's a place where you'll feel comfortable, you are connected to it. Yeah.
And I feel like that's a very major problem with most of the agencies. They just do the process. They don't prep you for what you're going to expect there. That's when unapata mtu anatoka hapa akiwa na high expectations. When they get there, life inawachapa, and now they start, they start wondering, they start regretting actually, because it's not just milk and honey. Everywhere has its own struggles.
Yeah, actually that is true, because there are cases, of course, we get cases where students have gone there, they get what they never anticipated for, and some even have challenges. For example, financially, some cannot pay their bills. Yeah, and it's very unfortunate when you cannot be in a position to pay your bills. It's something so bad. Yeah. So of course the student has to know. And regarding the amount of money, we have to make sure that the student is comfortable with the amount. The parent has to be very comfortable with the amount, so that given there is any issue, the parents now can help the students. Because students, your primary focus is to study. So, and you cannot leave aside your education to work. And of course, there are priorities. Yeah. So work is mainly for you to gain experience, the practical experience, of course, that is needed for you to be industry ready. Yeah. So those are some of the things that are really important. Yeah.
And have you had some students who have gone there and then they complained maybe, because you understand a student visa has its own restrictions. There are some specific hours that you're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be going to school. So kuna sometimes mtu anashindwa, should I go to work, should I go to school? If I leave school, then that's a problem. If I don't go to work, how will I pay my school fees, how will I pay my bills? Have you encountered those complaints?
Now, I've heard people complain, of which that is the only point. That is why actually I came into these businesses, because I felt there was that gap missing. There's this gap missing where people don't get the actual truth of what is happening. So telling the students, of course, that whatever you are paying for is very high. Are you sure that you are going to be comfortable with it? So, of course, if maybe you have issues there when you are abroad, that is where now the sponsorship comes in, because you are going there under offer that you have a sponsor, and this sponsor will cater for you everything. So having that person genuinely means that you need that person at that hour. Now that is the moment where you need assistance. So they'll need, and the sponsor has to be there. So the parents need to know also that they cannot just tell the students that this is okay and they are not going to help them out in paying the school fees. They have to be very well aware. So that is the only truth that is there. Yeah.
And is it true that the immigration is now cutting down the number of people that are going there, because everyone recently has been flocking?
Yeah. Of course, there are visa refusal cases which are all over actually, and we understand like every country has its own way of doing things, and some of the reasons why there are these measures is because there are some loopholes that have been discovered, and these loopholes are not good for the business. For them, it's not good for them, because having loopholes means that this is a very sloppy country. Yeah. So they've made some restrictions which now are limiting. They want genuine students to go there. So students need to understand what it means to be a genuine student. Yeah. And a genuine student has to know that I am going there to study. Maybe I'll have post-work study visa. But now upon that, I'll have to return back home. There are people who have gone there, they've overstayed their visa, which is of course not so good for a country that is hosting you. Yeah. So of course they'll have to people will have to suffer as an example. Or maybe the rules or the regulation, the rules that they've set, of course, they'll have to raise the bar. Yeah. To cut out on such. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think a lot of Kenyans, especially the Kalenjin community, are migrating from Kenya to maybe Australia, Canada?
Well, I think it's a good thing. Of course, we are talking about first world countries. Of course, there are endless possibilities, very good, lucrative possibilities that are out there compared to here. Yeah. So of course, out there you have access to the best education, the best education quality, the best quality of education. So when you are going to receive that, of course, it's something very good. It means that our country will benefit from that. Yeah, whether we like it or not. These people are rooted here, so they'll have to bring their knowledge from there. Maybe they'll have to borrow some ideas from there, because these are people who are advanced. That is why they are first world countries and we are third world countries. So we need any support that is there. So if it will come in the form of students, then that's a blessing. Yeah.
And do you think someone can make it big in Africa without going abroad?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that is, I am 100% in for that. Of course, you can make it. We've seen so many billionaires who are here. They've come, they are billionaires from the grassroots. Yeah. And of course, they've never even gone abroad. Yeah, so you will still find that when you're here, you can just live a very good life. Yeah, not necessarily going abroad. Yeah.
And people usually say if you have a very good job here, it's not a good decision for you to abandon that and go abroad. What do you have to say about that?
Now, I think that is a good thing. Yeah, it's very true. That is very true, because of course, before you go abroad, there are some factors you need to consider. Now, consider the cost of living there. The cost of living is quite high in that side. Yeah. They normally say that Africa will live $1 a day, of which you see you just need a minimal amount of money to survive. Yeah. And if you can maybe need $1 a day to pay your bills, then I think that is a good place.
Yeah.
There you'll spend so many a good number of dollars during the day. But aside from that, also consider the taxation. For example, when you compare now the Kenyan taxation to maybe Australia's, you find that Australia has 300%, nearly 300% higher in terms of taxation.
Yeah.
So meaning that any amount that you get here, the tax that you'll get for that country, it will be 300 times. Now you are paying all the other bills. For you you are not living in your own house, so you have to pay rent, you have to pay for food. Here you can grow them. So of course here there are so many opportunities, and also the social aspect that is very important in our lives is here, because when you go there you find that you are busy with school. After school you have work. After work, maybe the little time that you have, you catch on rest, and then the cycle continues. But here you can work maybe at a particular time, and then the remaining time you can spend maybe socializing, meeting with the family members.
Yeah.
Of course, that is a good thing.
Yeah. And actually there is too much freedom in Africa than abroad.
Yeah.
Abroad, ukilala 5 minutes, you have to start from scratch.
Yeah. Of course, time for them, time is a factor that is they strictly follow.
Yeah.
So they need, you need to be very well aware. Of course, also they are low. There are so many things that they have so many rules that for us Africans to cope with them, we feel that we are pressed, we are compressed. Yeah. So of course here you'll have freedom that is priceless.
Yeah. And now we get to the big question. You know, people usually ask, even before I migrated, kuna agents who did the process for me. I came back, they are still in those offices. Why don't these agents process their documentation and leave also? Like, why do you guys also only process for students na nyinyi mnabaki tu huku?
No, we are working here.
Yeah.
And being agents, of course, there are some realities that we know, okay? We tell you that going abroad there is not heaven, of course. Yeah. And if maybe this business or this industry is good for me, of course, I can have maybe some good income out of it. Then why do I need to go there? Of course, I've told you the possible the advantages that you have when you are here. I have freedom. I can work on my own time. So that is something that is priceless. That is something that people need to know. You cannot buy that. Yeah. So we are here. We help people, and also maybe it's a calling. Yeah, maybe it's a calling. So, yeah.
Yeah, so before we wind up, maybe you can talk to the students who are aspiring to go abroad for studies.
Yeah. So for students who want to go abroad, I'll just tell you this straight on that you need to first make sure you are well conversant with where you are going to study. Yeah. What is this place? Who is going to receive you first of all? Do you know somebody who is there? Do you know that there are some documentation that you'll need in order to stay there? So having to know that will help you know that. And also you need to have a compass. You need to know that you have a direction that your studies is the central part of it. So going there, you have to, of course, to learn very fast and make sure that at the end of it all, come home with something, especially the knowledge. Bring it all and advise other people. Yeah. So for the people, you have to know that you have so many bills that are standing when you go out there, and for you to survive, of course, you'll have to really work hard. Yeah.
And I know this is a booming business in Eldoret right now, if not Uasin Gishu. And what makes you stand out from the rest?
Okay, what makes me stand out from the rest is I am somebody who has grown in the industry. First of all, I came into this industry, of course, I knew a few people. But over time, I've been in a position to help so many people who have gone there. I have students who are abroad through IELTS, TOEFL, the proficiency exams, over 1,000 of them out there. So of course that is something that is a landmark on its own. Yeah, that makes me stand out. Yeah, and now being in this industry means that I still have a bar to reach. Yeah, and I'm not so close to it. Trust me, I'm far from it. Yeah, I still feel that I need to help so many people. Yeah.
Are you afraid of competition?
No, no, no. I welcome competition. Yeah. When I came into this industry, of course, there were very few agencies, there were very few people who are training. But if I've been able to stand for over 7 years, then it means I've faced the competition. Maybe I've been the competition. And yeah, that is just something you cannot run away from. We've been competing all along. So I'll not be really scared of any competition. Yeah.
And that reminds me of something. For example, in Australia where I was, you'll find the Chinese, they don't know English totally. But for us here, we have to pass an English exam for you to be accepted to, migrate. Like, why is it like that? Is it a standard they set for only African countries, or how is it?
Now, that is a question which, of course, for us to really grasp the entire meaning of it is quite hard. But my guess would be that, for the past time, for all that while I've been training, I've had students who are not so good when it comes to English. And that really worries because you are going to an English-speaking country, and maybe every other thing that you'll need to do is through English. Yeah. So of course that is, for me, that is what I felt is necessary. But if maybe there are other people who are there from different countries, now we know a country like China is a very powerful country, far powerful than even Kenya. So of course maybe they have their own. Maybe they have their own excuse. Maybe there is something that the Australian government feels that they need from them. So if that is what they do, then it's up to the other governments to decide. But for us, if maybe they've given us the rules, we won't really have to bend them because it's something you cannot escape.
True.
Yeah, we'll just have to follow them. Yeah. So any reason behind it, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as much as the students are involved, we understand that the parents are twice as much involved, right?
Yeah.
Because mzazi atauza shamba akuje alipe hiyo pesa. Do you think it's really reasonable for a parent kuuza things like shamba ama nyumba for them to process the application for the kids to go abroad?
Well, for me, I feel that education, of course, is an investment. All through our parents paid bills, and for some, maybe we never felt that because maybe we were so young to realize. But even when you go back to maybe when we were young, parents sold things for us to study. So it's an investment. So education is something that is, of course, very important, especially in this current society. Yeah. So we need that. So if maybe you feel that the investment that you're making on behalf of your child is selling land for the student to study, then that is a choice that a parent has to make. Yeah. You feel that it's worth it. Yeah. Because any investment you just use instincts. Yeah. So if your instincts are telling you that I feel that going abroad will bring endless possibilities or advantages, then yeah, you'll have to sell that piece of land.
Okay.
Bring the knowledge, maybe it can make you a better person. So of course being a better person is also something, it's a reward for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a very broad topic, na tumeguzia tu juju, but there is no problem. If you guys have questions that you need answered, you can just bring them on and we will come back here again. Yeah. So as you finish, maybe you'll give them a parting shot and tell them where they can find you on social media, your physical location, your business number, and all that.
Well, I live in Eldoret. I'm a very popular person in Eldoret. I have an office at City Plaza, which is just along Banaptai Street. And my office is Global Study Quest Consultants Limited. It's in 3rd floor, and I deal with a student application process. I also tutor English proficiency exams. Yeah. So anytime you feel that you need to reach out, you can just reach out to me. My phone number is 0722 157 603, and on social media you can find me at on Instagram at Dextitil. Yeah, and yeah, I also have a website under my name, so Global Study Quest Consultants. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, you wind up there and you can keep those questions coming. And I feel like this is going to be my field of research because I'm so passionate about this. I don't know why. Like, I just want to find more answers. You know, like it's not easy for someone to migrate from Africa going abroad. Like, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions and myths covering that, and which we will uncover. So, yeah, guys, until next time, we will see you. Bye. Thank you so much.